everyone, my name is Allison Bickel. I'm an account manager at RunSignUp. I mostly work with customers, helping them configure their races in the best way for our platform, and I also do some stuff on the marketing and sales operations side. This is Burke.
I'm a sales engineer, so I do a lot of technical work and development, and I interface with customers to understand what they need and develop.
So today we're going to be talking about email marketing. So up on the screen right now, I have 2 emails for my test race, which is an office-themed race. On my right-hand side, there's an email that comes from the MailChimp server, and on the left-hand side is one from the RunSignUp email system. I just kind of wanted to start off with these 2 to show you the difference between them. MailChimp does have a lot more templates. It is primarily an email marketing system, and they are a lot more advanced than what RunSignUp has. On the other hand, the RunSignUp emails do have a lot of stuff that pulls in that very rich participant data, and there's a lot of automation and promotion that you can do around them. Today we're mostly going to be focusing on how to build up your emails within the RunSignUp system, but we've actually also recently integrated with MailChimp. So I'll also be showing you how you can connect your RunSignUp race to your MailChimp account. On your race dashboard from email marketing, we're first going to go over the templates. So creating a template on RunSignUp is pretty easy. You'll know that when you come down here, when you write your email, you'll have the option to use the RunSignUp default template, and that's a pretty standard template. It has your race banner, your logo, your basic dates, a button for sign up and donate if you have that enabled, and then you have the blank spot where you're going to be able to fill in the text. But you're also able to customize how this looks, and you can go and do that by going into Manage Email Templates and clicking New Email Template. You're going to select a name for this. We'll call this Test 5. And you have the option to either use the existing RunSignUp template options, or you can create a blank template. The blank template is just going to give you a blank screen, and then you're going to be able to add images, text to that. I recommend using the RunSignUp templates though. Usually you've had your race website set up where you have your own custom banner image and your logo image, and it's really nice to just easily pull that into your email marketing. So you'll see here you have some options if you want to just feature your race banner only without all the extra stuff on the top of your email. You have options for how the text is aligned, whether or not sponsors are displayed. So you have a bit of flexibility in terms of what that template is going to look like. The really exciting thing I get to tell you during this presentation is that Andrew and one of our amazing UI UX developers, Meredith, are going to be working over the next month to roll out a bunch of really fun templates. And if you look at the new race websites and the new RunSignUp website and all the stuff that's gone on in your dashboard, you'll know and probably be excited that you're going to have some really cool options that are coming out in the next few weeks. So be sure to come back to this email template section. Even if you're not following the blog or Facebook with our new releases, just check this over the next couple of weeks because you'll have a lot of new creative ways that look almost as good as the MailChimp emails right here on your dashboard. So once you have your email template set up like you'd like, you just click Create New Email Template. And you'll see right here it's set up for you. When you go into Send Emails, you'll be able to use any of the templates that you pre-created just by switching from here. You'll also be able to switch the color theme if you want. It's going to default to your race website colors, which typically looks nice, but you can kind of select from some of our, standard theme colors as well. If you are still looking to use MailChimp instead of the RunSignUp templates, we did recently have a MailChimp integration. The reason that we did it with MailChimp is we're seeing more and more, just people in general are using MailChimp. They're gaining more and more market share. Other clients like Constant Contact and others are not gaining as much market share as MailChimp, and a lot of the races that we do work with use MailChimp. So you're simply going to authorize MailChimp from your RunSignUp account by going to Promotion, MailChimp, MailChimp Integration. You're going to also be able to sync your lists to specific lists that you have in your MailChimp account. So you'll see here I have like 2 lists from my MailChimp account, and I can export my participants into that. The way that this works is from the moment you set up that integration and have your participants going into a MailChimp list, it's going to be auto-syncing, but it's not going to be bringing in all of your past participants. Or if you do the MailChimp integration in the middle of registration, it's not going to automatically bring over all of the people that have already registered. So from the point that you enable this moving forward, it is going to auto-sync, and you're not going to have to do any work to manually bring those guys over. But it is really easy to get any past participants over into MailChimp or any external email provider that you're using. You can simply go to Participants, View Participants, and you'll see here there's a bunch of export options. And we've actually recently added one that's a specific MailChimp export. So you're just going to be able to download that and upload it right into MailChimp without any sort of data manipulation. So again, that's just going to be from your participant view. So going back to our emails, when you're creating an email, we do have one exciting release that a lot of people have been requesting over the past couple of years, and that's the ability to add an image to your email without having to edit your HTML. So rather than going into here and editing the source code, which is fun to say that you can do HTML even though you don't really know that much, you're now able to just click the Insert Image button. There's an easy way to upload right from here. So if I want to add a picture of my race t-shirt to my email, I can just drop my image into here. It's going to be preset to dimensions, just based on the image that you've chosen. You can edit that in this box, but you're also going to have the ability to edit it within the email body. So if I want to, I can center this image, I can resize it, and kind of add text around it. So this is just so much of a time saver. So this is a really exciting new addition to our email marketing. And when you are sending an email, just kind of going over some email etiquette, we publish a race trends report every year. If you haven't read it yet, you should check it out at runsignup.com/racetrends. But we found that over 60% of traffic to race websites is from mobile users, and an increasing number of those are converting into registrations. And so what you want to make sure when you are crafting an email, you want to make sure it's really friendly to people who are reading that email on their cell phone. Really long emails that have a bunch of text are not the most mobile friendly. One of the really nice suggestions I have for dealing with this is if you have a lot of information you want to communicate to your runners, you can actually just add it as a custom section on your race website. So here, I've added a couple of custom sections. I have one for parking, I have one for the course map, and then I just have a generic runner fact section. So I have these custom sections, and I can put all this information right onto my race website. And when you go into custom content display, you can create a new menu item that's just runner fact, and then have your parking information, course map, post-party or post-race party information as sub-menu items. Then when you're sending your email, instead of including that information all as a text, you can simply link to the URL for one of those sections and just include this in your email rather than having a bunch of text about where to park. The other recommendation that I have in terms of making things mobile friendly, and just in general for email marketing, once you've drafted an email, this button for send test email is really important. You should always do this to make sure that everything looks the way that you want it to, make sure that all your writing looks nice. But when you're sending the test email, don't just look at it on your desktop computer. Make sure you check your phone and make sure that it's also appearing nicely on your phone. All the RunSignUp emails are configured for mobile optimization, so you don't need to really worry about doing anything, but just make sure it is mobile friendly and that people reading your message on phones will have a nice time. Just going back to the MailChimp versus RunSignUp, one of the differences is that MailChimp is a professional paid email marketing service. There is a lot more power to it and a lot more that you can do, especially in terms of like making nice email designs. MailChimp, I know just off the top of my head, is free for up to 2,000 participants. The nice thing about RunSignUp is it's free unlimited. You can send an unlimited number of emails to an unlimited number of participants. But yeah, there are certain features like post this email equivalent to my Facebook page that probably are not going to be released in RunSignUp because we're not just an email marketing system, we are a whole race management platform. The thing about RunSignUp that is really important to know about email marketing is we are connected right to your participant database. And I know we keep talking about like how important this data is, but because we have all that data, RunSignUp is able to do automated emails. We're able to do the replacement tags, and it's a system that's specifically built for race directors. So one of the things that an external client may do is they'll deduplicate your email list. And that's like a nice thing to do because if you have a whole family that signs up under the same email address, you don't necessarily want them to get 4 of your emails because that can clutter your inbox. However, RunSignUp is built so that if you're using any of our replacement tags, for example, if you're using the system to send out bid numbers ahead of packet pickup, RunSignUp automatically recognizes that that is like a participant, like individual participant data, and instead of deduplicating, it will need to send all the emails to that email address because each of those people who registered will need to get their bid number. But if you send an email from RunSignUp that's just a generic email about the runner facts and like what to do on race day, it's only going to send one of those. So the RunSignUp system is built specifically for race directors, and it has that sort of intelligence that's going to make sure that you aren't annoying your customers with too many emails at the inappropriate times, but also making sure that they are getting the information that they need. One of the best practices, if you are going to use an external client, is still to turn on our automated emails on RunSignUp. It's really helpful and it's free. It might result in a couple, it might result in many registrations, but I recommend turning on the incomplete registration emails and the price increase emails. We've also recently added registration follow-up emails, which is a nice way to kind of add like a personal touch to people who are registering for your race as a way to say thank you and to redirect them to your race website where they are able to find more information about the race in case questions come up before race day. So even if you are using another provider for emails, turn these on. It's free, it's easy, it saves you time. The other thing is that if you're using an external email client, it's not going to be able to track your return on those emails in terms of the number of clicks on your website or the number of registrations you get from an email that you send. And when you're using a paid email marketing service, that number, like understanding your ROI from your emails, probably becomes a little bit more important to you. One of my recommendations is if you are sending an email from a different client, we recommend using custom source tracking. So custom source tracking is going to let you add a code. So let's say this is my MailChimp email from 7-15. I'm going to say I spent about $20 on this email from MailChimp. I'm just estimating that. You can create a code for that. When you create a code, it's going to be added here, and you're going to be able to see an amount that you spent here, and it's going to give you links. It's going to give you 2 different links to your race website and to the registration page, like putting you directly in the registration path. This extra stuff on the end of the link is like a tracking code. So if you're sending out a link to your race website from an external provider, you're going to want to use this link. And the reason why you want to do that is you're going to be able to track when people go to your race website, when they register, and you'll be able to get those numbers right from your race dashboard in Race Insights under custom source tracking. So you'll be able to see the number of page views, the number of signups, and the number of transaction dollars that were processed from that email that you sent. just because you have that link and it's attributing it to that specific email that you sent. So it's just like a really nice way to get some more analytics, even if you aren't doing everything directly from the RunSignUp system. All of the RunSignUp emails, we can go a bit more into that in a minute in terms of reporting, but those will be tracked in a couple of places. So when you're sending an email, you'll see at the top you're able to select your email participants, and you have two columns, add and exclude, and this is kind of a very basic way that you can create an email list. So if you want to email all of your current participants because you have race information, you can add all of those, but you may want to exclude your previous participants. You may want to reach out to previous participants from last year and exclude current participants and give those previous participants a coupon to encourage them to sign up for this year's race. You can also create your own list. You can upload your own custom list of contacts, and they are going to be static lists. They're not going to be dynamic because it's kind of like a one-time upload that you're doing. But to do this, it's pretty easy. You're just going to upload custom contacts. You're just going to create a list name, like test to upload, and then you're going to be able to choose a file to upload, just like a CSV file, and that's going to bring that list into RunSignUp. And then when you go to send an email, you're going to be able to select that custom list that you're uploading. So when we're talking about all the changes that CRM is going to bring, this is going to make custom lists a lot easier. So basically, when the CRM is continuing to get rolled out, you're going to be able to get a lot more targeted in terms of the list that you create, and it's going to take you a lot less time. So when you're emailing previous participants, you may not want to think of them as a whole bucket of just previous participants. You want to think about it a little bit more strategically. So for example, you may want to create a list where you email previous participants who aren't registered for this year's race and tell them that at the end of this year's race, you're going to have a free beer for all the finishers. But you're also going to want to make sure that email only gets sent to people who are 21 and older because best practices. And so creating one of those lists, you can do that right now just by going into your participant data, downloading that, manipulating that in Excel, and uploading it as one of these custom lists. But it takes a bit of time, and with the CRM, you're going to find it increasingly easier to create lists like that, which is a couple clicks of a button, and auto-syncing that to your email marketing system. So you don't have these extra steps. So custom lists right now are really useful. They're really easy to do. It's just uploading a simple CSV, and you're able to communicate with these targeted lists. And as our CRM starts to roll out, you're going to see more and more that it's easier to create these custom lists and reach out to these targeted groups. The lists in RunSignUp, they are automatically cleaned by RunSignUp. So RunSignUp, as we talked about previously, it knows what races need, so it's going to deduplicate when it's appropriate and when it's not. It's also going to automatically unsubscribe people who label your emails as spam, or who have bounced emails or invalid email addresses. So RunSignUp lists are automatically cleaned for you. It's not something that you need to manually do. One other thing about lists, creating these lists is really useful because it's easy, and it's really just you can have first name, last name, email address, upload, email. It actually, in the long run though, it may be beneficial for you guys to import your past participants. Because that example I was giving about sending out an email about beer to past participants who aren't currently registered, it would require knowing more information about them, including their birth date. And so importing your past participants, if you haven't been using RunSignUp for long, if you're a new customer, or if you have past years of participants on, just messy Excel files of them, I recommend when it's not super busy for your race during a downtime, reach out to your sales rep and account manager and ask them to help you bring that data over to RunSignUp. Just because as we continue to bring out CRM, you're going to get so much more out of it the more participant data that you have in the system. It's going to give you a lot richer data, and you're going to be able to do a lot more interesting targeting of customers. And it's pretty easy to import past years of participant data, But yeah, just reach out to your sales rep or account manager and we can help you with that. And it's a really great way to get prepared to take full advantage of all the cool stuff you'll be able to do in email marketing with the combined CRM. Email reports, I'm just going to go over to the Scott Coffee run because they're a real race. So to find your email reports, you can go to email marketing, email reports. You can look at SendGrid email statistics. And this is going to give you information about the rate of emails being delivered, how many are opened, how many clicks those emails generate. You're also going to be able to look at like spam reports. So this is done in a couple ways. You kind of have like summary statistics up at the top for any sort of custom date range that you want to create. And then you're going to be able to see tabular data on this. So you'll be able to look at like a specific day that you sent a certain email, and you'll be able to see like how many clicks that generated, how many opens it generated. The other place where you're going to be able to get really cool email statistics is right on your race dashboard. So I'm going to actually switch this view to the last year, just to give us a little bit more to look at. But right here, you'll see that you have a couple different sources. One of those is email. So if you expand that, you'll be able to see all the emails that Bob sent directly from the email marketing system in RunSignUp. They're just labeled by the subject line, so you're able to differentiate between them. But it gives you really cool data. It shows you all this information from them, and you can kind of see which ones of your emails are the most successful and which ones weren't as successful. The tracking works, so it's like similar to the custom source tracking where there's that special addition to the URL to get to the race page or get to the sign up page. So if I receive the email and I forward it to Jeff and he signs up from that email, it's going to still be attributed to that email because of that tracking on the link. So these numbers that you're seeing are pretty accurate. Of course, it's not going to account for something like if I send the email to Jeff and then he looks at it and then 5 days later he thinks, oh, I should sign up for that race, Googles it. It's not going to like have that sort of tracking, but it will give you pretty accurate numbers. And you'll see here that one of the most successful emails that he sent out was this $5 off coupon on April Fool's Day. And it's something that he's been doing year over year, so there's a lot of people that like wait for that special discount. He doesn't bombard participants with discounts, it's really like a one-time offer. So creating like that kind of call to action, like here's a special discount for you, and just kind of keeping it like limited still so that people, feel kind of a sense of urgency to act on signing up. It does have big returns. You can see that that day that he sent it out, that email resulted in 95 registrations. So there's a lot of power from these emails, and I think it's really cool to like be able to look at these types of statistics. The other best practice is just when you're looking at your email reports, it's probably a good idea to keep an eye on your spam reports. If you're sending out like a lot of emails that have like all caps and lots of exclamation points in the subject line, you might find that you're getting like more and more spam email reports. We kind of want to keep an eye on that as well and make sure that everyone's using the email marketing system, in a beneficial way. So it's just good to keep an eye on that. And those are kind of basic overviews of email marketing, and now we have plenty of time for questions. And Andrew is the developer who spends a lot of time working on the email marketing system, so he's going to be able to provide a lot of very technical responses as well to your email marketing questions.
I do want to do replacement tags for a custom URL. Is that possible? Like if I have a link to a participant's photo, for each of the participants' photos?
Yes, so the replacement tags cover a wide variety of options. They can do everything from somebody's first and last name to an edit registration link, putting in their date of birth, links to their finisher certificates, all kinds of information. Basically, as Allison said, we're connected to the database, so we know all of the information about the participant. So if there's something where you want to send out an email where that person gets a personalized link that points to their registration, or you want to do a pre-race email with, here, let's make sure your information is correct. Here's your first name, your last name, your age, your giveaway size. And you put all that information into the email using the replacement tags. Everyone's going to get a personalized email with all of the data exactly as we have it in RunSignUp. And then you can do fun things like include a link at the bottom to say, if there are any issues, click this link to edit your registration. And it will be personalized to that person. So it will take them directly to their registration. And if you turned on any of our participant management options, somebody could get that personalized email that says, hey, oh, I picked an extra large for my giveaway, I meant to pick a medium. They'll get that email that tells them that you've got the record being extra large. They can click on that link, go to their profile, the registration, and update the giveaway to be a medium instead of an extra large. So instead of having to deal with that person emailing you or on race day saying, no, I picked this thing wrong, or my age isn't right on race day, you send out that pre-race email, and then everybody gets that and say, oh, hey, my age was wrong. And you get that information before race day, which makes it a lot easier to clean up rather than going into somebody's results file and being like, I'm in the wrong age group. And now your timer's got to recalculate everyone's age group and say, let's switch somebody over.
Yeah, and just as a note on replacement tags, you'll find a full list of them right on your email. Like when you go to send emails and you're drafting your email, if you expand it, you'll see that there's quite an extensive list of replacement tags that we have. So this is where you can find anything you want. If you do like a Command F and just type in whatever you're looking for, like if you're looking to send a special URL or something, just type that in and it'll find it in this very exhaustive list of replacement tags.
Yep, another great example of that is if you're using one of our referral reward programs and you want to send people out an email, you want to give them their referral reward link so that they have that more easily. That's an available tag, so you can send out an email, use that tag in there, and then everybody gets their personalized referral reward link, which they can then share with their friends.
On replacing the tags, for the sponsorship logos, right now when you use this tag, it drops it down like a list. But when you use like your email that comes out from your default emails, it puts them in as block logos across the bottom. Is there a way for me to make it so the replacement tag shows my sponsorship logos as blocks?
Right now there's not, but we can take a look at adding that and maybe do a sponsorship logo horizontal versus a sponsorship logo vertical. It would just be adding another type of tag. I'm sure we can make a note on that and probably just update that to add new sponsor logos vertical option for that.
And so my other question is on opting out emails. So we basically market quite a lot at the partner level across multiple events. And so my question is, if someone doesn't opt out at that level, does that then also opt them out from any participant emails? And if they do opt out from a participant email for a particular event, is there an easy way to go and find out if they've done that? Because we have a lot of people who say, I didn't get the email, and it's usually because they put their email address in wrong. But we also have the situation that they've actually opted out of getting emails about the event that they're wanting to go to.
Right.
Yeah, right. You're going to be able to see a full report of people who have unsubscribed. If they unsubscribe from your partner level emails, that doesn't mean they're unsubscribed from the race level emails. So when you have that sort of partner level and race level, email marketing, you're going to want to use your partner account more for marketing and the race level emails more for like race communications. You'll be able to see a list of your unsubscribed recipients right from your email reports. We recommend that you don't resubscribe people unless you speak to them because you don't want to have angry customers. But if you have a customer and they realize they made a mistake and they need to be getting emails from your race, it's easy to come into this unsubscribed report from the email marketing on your dashboard and you'll just be able to resubscribe that recipient.
Now you have like the CRM stuff and the profile for a person. It would be great if you could see that person is signed up for this race and they've unsubscribed, right? Because obviously this is like you've done multiple years, people may not come back to your race, and now they've unsubscribed. It'd be great to run a report and say, these guys are signed up for this race right now, but they've unsubscribed from getting emails.
Yeah, that could be another data point we could add to the CRM when you're pulling up a participant view just to indicate whether or not they've unsubscribed from the race. I understand, that makes sense, we should be able to do that. Just by the way, real quick, you are doing the marketing exactly correct. Sending out promotional emails from your partnership account. So if somebody unsubscribes from a promotional email, so they don't want to find out about all the new upcoming races, sending that from partnership is really great because then if there's race level communication where you need to send out, say, that pre-race email or go check on their registration information, they'll continue to get that. So that's best practices. So you've got that down.
Are you going to do the MailChimp integration at the partner level as well?
I will double check, but I believe we will.
So this kind of has to do with the spam. So last year, we used the volunteer emails to communicate, and people up until the week of said they never got them. So I work for a university, and unfortunately a lot of our participants and volunteers are in the university, so that's a higher spam filter. But is there anything I can be doing differently? Because I would say 70% of our volunteers said that they never got any email, and it was like 4 emails. So is there a way to get around those spam filters when you use not only the email marketing and also the volunteer? Because I would love to use this, but I went to MailChimp for that reason.
So there's a couple of things you can do for that. One of them is white labeling. So essentially white labeling, it's a technical process, so if you have questions on it, we'll follow up afterwards. I don't want to go too far into it. But essentially, it links your website to the email, so it basically does a better authentication. Because what will be happening is you'll be sending an email from RunSignUp, and if your reply to email address, your from email address is something that's not RunSignUp, some spam filters don't like that. Because they basically say, hey, this email's coming from RunSignUp, why is your reply to address not RunSignUp? So the white labeling process is basically a part that allows you to authenticate it. So it adds that extra validation, and it can be a way if you're having some difficulty in deliverability to help with that.
So my question is on the partner level. We sometimes send out emails for sponsors and trying to track the analytics on that one particular email when they're not clicking back into the RunSignUp. Like there's not a link within it just for the RunSignUp page, it's back to the sponsor. And I find it a little difficult to really just narrow down that one particular email to kind of report back to the sponsor and what they're doing. I'm not sure if there's a different way to do that.
I understand, and unfortunately that is a difficulty that we're going to have to work with for a little while. The way that SendGrid, the provider we use under the covers to send out those emails, they only give us the reports in a day format. They don't tag individual emails, which is why the reports that we provide to you guys are in a day-by-day format, as opposed to breaking it down by individual email. So with that system, that's just kind of how it is for now, but we're going to be continuing to work on race insights and expand that. And there are other things we might be able to do, like right now we're able to track, so you have to click through to RunSignUp for race insights to work, but we might be able to work in some tags and things in the emails themselves to sort of improve our tracking by using race insights. But that is something we'll have to be building out ourselves. So I understand that, but it's just a difficulty we have right now.
Any more questions for anyone? All right. Let's round of applause for Allison.